All right, so excuse me while I chap my lips. Not today. It's been a week. All right, so what happened this week? If you don't know, I am going back into the classroom next year. No idea where, but I am going back to the classroom. I had an interview this week that I was extremely nervous about, and still feel a little bit nervous just because I hadn't done an interview in a while, and things like that just make me nervous. So what I will hope to do is, once this whole process is over and I do find a teaching job, I'll obviously let you know where I'm going, but then I also would like to tell you what that process looked like for me in regards to preparing, because I think that could be beneficial for anyone, I guess, looking for a teaching position. And I want to say also specifically internationally, but overall it could hopefully help anybody. And keeping in mind that obviously that's just my way of doing it, and it may look a little crazy. But other than that, my week was pretty good. I haven't gotten any edits back from my editor, which is normal because editors have other writers that they're working with, so it just takes time. And as I've mentioned, I really love the pacing that I have with my editor. Nothing comes back too fast unless it's in that phase of really trying to get it finished. But in the beginning, I think for the most part, it feels like I am given a lot of time to sit with it, and I am 110% okay with that. I'm such a I don't know, I was gonna say slow moving, but I'm not slow moving. I'm such a very, I'm a process guy. I love the process of things. So I like to sit in that process for as long as possible. With that, it gave me some time this week to look at some new ideas. So I have a few goals leading into the new year. I remember I talked to my agent a while ago about trying to get something in before the year's over. I'm not gonna rush that because I noticed that when I do rush things, I produce work that isn't from my heart, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to I'm at a point right now where I have two things that I really love. So I'm going to continue to work on those while my editor is working on the book that's on the contract. And then hopefully close to the new year, or maybe in the new year, I have those other pieces ready to at least submit so my agent can look at them and then eventually show to editors and publishing houses. I think the interesting thing about being an author is that you, at least starting out, no one really knows who you are. So your work, for one, the second book is always harder. I already noticed that right away. But I think you get a contract, and then that contract is over once those number of books are finished. So if you're living off of your author contract, which is fair, you could, based on how your book sells, because you still get royalties, but that contract is over. So all of your advancements and all that stuff is done, right? So it's your full-time job, and for most people you have to write again. Someone has to like it, and then they have to offer you another contract. So, and if you're not a well-known author, that could be tricky because someone may not really like your work. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, so I'm in a little bit of that phase where I have those two books that are finishing up on the contract. And then I'm gonna create some other things that hopefully people like, and we'll just see what happens. Other than that, this week has been pretty good. What did I watch? I watched 2 seasons of Wentworth. I don't know a lot about Wentworth, but I love the series. I watched all of the series. I binge watched the last 2 in the last few days. And I just think it's done well. Nothing fancy about it. I love the ins and outs of what it looks like to be in an all-women's prison. Obviously, I think it's obviously a bit extreme, I think. I haven't really looked into the background of it, but I just love how it's done. And the last few seasons, I was shocked. They actually shocked me in some ways that I didn't know how things would happen. So I really enjoyed Ali on the show a lot. I loved Boomer on the show as well. I thought Boomer did a really good job. And I just overall, again, I think the show was done really well. So another recommendation. This weekend I'm hoping to relax a little bit. Supposed to go to brunch, which is nice. And that's about it. I'm excited for the weekend to relax. Yeah. Until next time. Thanks for hanging out. If you're there, anyone out there watching, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Until next time, stay blessed and stay safe, please. Later.